Hey everybody, this is Kevin from Fort Orange Woodworking, and today we are on location looking for blanks for my semi-traditional Irish American Shillelaghs, which I call them because here in upstate New York, we don't have any supply of Blackthorn, the traditional material for making Shillelaghs. So my typical go-to for making these walking sticks is American hornbeam. I'm going to show you a picture of this. This particular species of wood is known for being extremely dense, extremely durable, very hard, so it makes very good walking sticks. Now, it's also known up here in upstate New York as ironwood and also musclewood, and you can see that the growth pattern on this, it actually looks like the trees itself, the trees themselves have muscles. So we're going to look for other species while we're out here if they look like they're good hardwoods that will make good sticks, but this is ideally what we're looking for. So we're going to start hunting. So let's go for a little walk. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I look for when I'm looking for these blanks. The first might be a fully grown live tree such as this one. There's no branches until we get about 8 feet up or so, and then once we get to about that 8-foot mark, we start to see that it's starting to grow branches which could be used for blanks. Now, I don't want to cut down an entire tree for one blank. So what I'll do is I will look for a tree that has multiple branches that could be used. So for this one, it might be a little tough to see on camera, but I can probably get 3 out of this, including 2 full walking sticks and 1 mini. So this one's going to come down. I don't love to cut down full trees for this, but I mean, we are harvesting branches, trees are going to come down. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down and see what we can get out of this hornbeam. So one of the forms that I'll look for when searching for a blank is a young live tree. In Ireland, they almost always choose young blackthorn so that they can keep the root ball, which gives it that nice round head appearance. I usually get mine by cutting branches up higher on older trees, but every once in a while I will cut a young live tree that's nice and straight, that has a good root system down at the bottom. This one looks nice and straight. It's just thick enough, and it looks like it's got some sort of root ball on it that I can use to keep a form of the head on top. So I don't love to cut down the young live trees, give them a chance to grow, but every once in a while I will do one. So let's go ahead and get this guy out. Okay, so that live tree is cut out. That's going to be a good size for an adult, a little big for a small person, but we're off to a good start. Let's look for another one. Here's the next kind of blank that I look for. This is a live tree, and it's got a branch growing from it that's nice and straight. That's going to have a little bit of a bulb head on it. I'm going to be able to cut that. And I'm not taking too much tree down, but this is a little bit on the small side. I'd like this ideally a little bit bigger, but this will still work. So a live tree that's got a branch growing out of it. Let's go ahead and take this one down too. And here's the final example here. This is a full-grown tree, and I climbed up and limbed off part of it. It's going to continue to grow, so this tree is not going to die because of our efforts. And with the amount that I took off, I'm going to be able to get several blanks out of this. So I'm going to get at least 2 full walking sticks and probably 2 or 3 minis out of this section that I took off. So this is the main one right here on the left. That's going to be my primary walking stick. It's got a nice cool bend twist to it. And that is the third type of tree that I'm looking for. Okay, so not a bad little haul today. We ended up getting 3 full-sized and 3 of the minis without taking down too much material from the woods. We probably would have gotten a lot more. The goal was to get 10 today in total, but as you saw, my chainsaw decided to fall apart on the very first tree. That was problematic. We weren't able to repair it here in the field, so we decided to keep going. Luckily, I brought my Sven saw. This thing has been a beast. It worked really well on pretty much all of these. My shoulder's gonna be a little sore, but other than that, this thing works really, really well. It's a sharp saw. I was cutting some pretty green wood, really wet, so it was gonna be an uphill battle from the start, but this thing bailed me out. I'm happy with our haul. We're gonna do a couple more things, check the moisture content of these, and then get them ready for dry. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is going to be the last step of our process. And what I've got here is some regular candle wax. I heated it up on the stove, and now I've got it on this sterno kit here to keep it warm, but it's melted. It's just regular old candle wax with 1 squirt of mineral oil just to keep it from burning on the stove, just to give it some liquid to melt into. And what I'm going to do is I got this chip brush, and I'm going to take this liquid wax, and I'm going to seal my ends just by brushing that on lightly. And what that does is it's going to seal these ends to prevent splitting as this dries. What we want is for the moisture to leave the stick through the long portions, not through its ends. If the moisture leaves through the ends, we're going to get cracking. Now, cracking, unfortunately, with wood can sometimes just be inevitable. Sometimes we can do everything right and the wood just splits because that's just what it wants to do. But all we're doing is taking a precaution to give it its best chance. Once I have sealed off these ends, this is going to go into storage. Where you store it is really going to depend on your circumstances. For me, I have an attic that fluctuates with the seasons but stays relatively room temperature, cool to hot in the summer, I guess, but still dry. That's the important thing, is it stays very dry. It's not adding any moisture to these over the seasons. So where you hang these up in your shed or your attic, I would avoid any damp basements if I can possibly help it. But other than that, let these dry for approximately 1 year per inch. This one is a little over an inch, so maybe if I bring this back out in about 1.5 years, this one will be ready to process. And of course, if I'm doing this regularly every year, I should have a new supply every year. If it's your first time, you might have a little bit of a waiting game, or if you rush too fast, you'll be working with green wood and it may split. Just something to be aware of. And there you have it. That is the entire process of how I collect the raw materials for my shillelaghs here in upstate New York. I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe. And don't forget, we do have an Etsy shop as well, Fort Orange Woodworks. I hope you give that a shot. Please check it out. Other than that, I will see you next time in the shop. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.